Andrea Savage has had an incredible career, and Tulsa King might be a new beginning for her. From comedy role to comedy role, it looks like her role in Tulsa King has finally changed things up for her. She, of course, stars alongside legend Sylvester Stallone as his very complicated love interest on Tulsa King. It's quite a different role from the roles we're used to seeing her in, but on and off screen, Andrea Savage is a woman to be reckoned with. She's absolutely incredible, and she's done so much to improve the television and film industry. So, let's discuss her most famous behind-the-scenes moments from television and movie history. One of the biggest things Andrea Savage has done throughout her time is actually allowing people to be more open around her on and off the set. You think this is becoming practice, right? The cast and crew spend a lot of time with each other and become a family.
In a tracksuit, removes his top and is now topless.
But it's actually quite surprising to hear that a lot of the time, they don't open up as much as they could and talk about all their problems. You have to be careful who you hire in this industry, as you're going to be around them for quite a lot of time, Andrea always says. She said in an interview that she only hires people that know each other very well. In the writer's room for her shows, you'll never go off and write your own script. They write everything in the same room together and unpack everything they can. She creates this sort of environment where everyone kind of unloads their emotions and feelings about the storyline and creates this beautiful encapsulation of each writer's passion. It really is a beautiful thing that she does. You don't really see this thing on television shows, or even films for that matter, as a lot of the time, the writers will go off on their own and construct what they want. But when it comes to Andrea though, she knows what she wants and will sit down with everyone involved and create a thought-out story. This is called room writing, and they do this with dialogue passes in the plot writing process. They all do everything together, and behind the scenes, it allows everyone to create a better relationship. Though this sort of thing might not be what you expected going into today's video, it is truly incredible and shows how amazing of a creator Andrea really is. I mean, come on. Who else do you know who does this sort of thing? She creates such a family-like relationship with her cast and crew, and it starts right from the creation of the series. She says she has to find people who really enjoy telling stories and have stories to be on her writer's team, as they need to have a story that fits their character's point of view. If Andrea is creating a character with a very tragic backstory, she preferably needs someone who has gone through that to talk in this open space room. She creates a great atmosphere for these sorts of people and allows them to slowly work through that issue so they can write them down and adopt them as television. But on the other hand, she said multiple times that they need to be careful, as when they trust people, people figure out who each other is, down to their deepest desires. What she means by this is that because of this incredible space she created, people feel way more open than they usually would and start to get things off their chest. Everyone in the space starts to understand one another, and this is where things maybe get a little bit difficult. These people need to be trustworthy, as the room is a sort of cone of silence. Nothing leaves it. Her entire group works super hard to make sure all of this is inclusive, but there are so many people good at their job, so it's hard to find specific people for the work. There are so many people happy to be there and good at their job, and according to Andrea, a lot of those actually tend to be women in her space. Yeah, she employs a lot of women when it comes to talking so openly about problems. I guess it does make a lot of sense, as a lot of her characters are based on women's issues, so having those sorts of people around you makes more sense than having men. She's such an incredible woman, and she's so appreciative of everyone's stories. What an awesome actress. Speaking of her being incredible, one of her best projects, I'm Sorry, encapsulates her entire creative process. Though it's completely completely different from Tulsa King and came out back in 2017, I'm Sorry is the perfect depiction of how Andrea creates her television shows and her characters. This was a super fresh comedy series that was released back in 2017 and is about love, family, and the strange ways of having strange moments with one another. In the series, Savage stars as a comedy writer in Los Angeles who is making her way through the perils that come with being a parent and living with a minimal filter. This was actually her own show where she began writing all the characters and dialogue herself.
I told her only if she's good. And she's been very well behaved for 6 months.
Her creative process allowed the series to do phenomenally well and challenged a lot of the ideas in television at the time. 2017 was actually quite a while ago, even if it feels like yesterday. The show tackles a lot of challenges by mixing awkwardness with sincerity in this awesome blend of television. She truly is an awesome writer. Behind the scenes, Andrea really doesn't stop though. Even back during the airing of I'm Sorry, she was still writing the series and going around doing interviews all the time. She could be seen conferring with her co-stars during the next round of discussion between the camera setups. This just shows how great the relationship she has with everyone on her team is, as they've been through a lot during the writing process. She says she compares everything to a marathon, as it's more exhilarating but also more tortuous at the same time than it is with normal writing. There's so much adrenaline going through her system and pushing herself harder than she ever could have thought. It's amazing, but also painful at the same time, she said. And we think this encapsulates her career perfectly, as well as her writing style. I mean, look at everything we've spoken about so far in today's video. She's truly incredible.
To address the people near me and let them know everything is fine.
Yeah.
No complaints from the husband.
Oh, from Andy.
But is still going on this long journey to figure herself out. I'm Sorry depicts all of this perfectly, as she put her entire career into it. But at the end of the day though, this is truly a comedy series at its heart. It's got a lot of backing in emotional stories and ideas, but it is a comedy series. We've said it so many times already, but she is truly incredible. And behind the scenes, she seems like an awesome woman. She knows how to create the space for everyone around her and make a perfect show because of it. There are no random arguments, no behind the scenes scuffles. It's just pure writing and talking about their issues. At the end of the day, movies and television are best created when adapted from real life inspiration and stories. Andrea knows this and injects it right into the words that she writes down for each character. The pages and pages of dialogue are purely based on real issues, and it's just awesome to see in today's modern era television. Andrea really is a great writer, and there are so many great behind the scenes moments that just show her passion for the industry. We hope you enjoyed today's video.